back to another Body Talk with Becca video. My name is Becca. I am a counselor at Payne County Youth Services, and I am creating videos all about body image and self-compassion and kind of getting rid of negative self-talk in order to improve, more self-love. And in my last video, I talked about what body image is, what negative body image feels like, and why it is important to cultivate a more positive body image. And in today's video, and in the next couple of videos, I'm going to be talking about negative body image and where it comes from, because it's important to understand what the messages you received about your body, who they are coming from, what kind of messages they are, what that does to you. It's also, it's important to know where the root of the cause is in order to kind of work to heal it and then overcome it. So this first video is just all about the messages we receive from people in our lives, like our family, our friends, our peers, maybe even just strangers that you interact with on a daily basis. So where does a negative body image come from? And there are a lot of different sources and reasons why we might have a negative body image. One of them are the messages that we receive from the people in our lives. And these messages are often sent to us from a very early age. I know that most people can kind of think back in time to a very early point when someone said something about their bodies or the way that they look that made them feel bad about themselves and maybe made them feel a bit insecure. And these messages can come from all kinds of people. They can come from, family members, friends, peers, strangers on the street, in the grocery store. People can make comments about the way we look all the time and in different kinds of settings. And there are definitely different kinds of messages that we receive. And the first one are these direct messages that are often intentionally mean and cruel messages like, oh, you've gotten so fat, or your body is gross, why don't you take care of yourself? And when you hear these kinds of messages, you're kind of being told that there is something wrong with you or your body. There's something wrong with the way that you look, and you should fix it. You are not good enough as you are right now. And even though we know that we can always sometimes get better and improve ourselves, in those moments, we're kind of really being told that we're not good enough and maybe even less than others. Another message we are kind of being sent is that our worth is based on how attractive the person who is sending you this message thinks you are. And they're kind of telling you that you are not living up to some standard that they have in their head of how you should look. And this standard might not even be what you want or what you even care about. But nonetheless, these messages can really creep up on us and start forming those negative thoughts and feelings about our bodies. Another type of message is the more subtle ones. And sometimes these more subtle ones can be more painful because they're often done with good intentions, but these good intentions can often have very negative reactions. Messages like, so you've gained some weight, I see. Or, oh, are you sure you should be eating that? And a classic one, oh, you would look so much better if you just lost a little bit of weight, or gained some muscle, or were lighter skinned, or fixed your teeth, or had better skin. There's, all these kinds of little messages we hear, and we can often hear them almost every day. And these messages often convey to us, again, that we're not enough as we are, that we need to change, that we are not attractive, that, again, there's something wrong with us. And in order to be better, we have to change some aspect of the way that we look. And again, these messages can be more harmful than those direct ones because we want to take people's advice. We can tell if people are concerned about us, and the people that we love especially can have their opinion of us can have a larger impact on how we feel about ourselves. And even though that messages are sent with good intentions, we might be feeling this kind of confusion or dissonance in our bodies about that message. And on a different plane, we might receive positive messages about the way that we look. And sometimes these messages happen after we've changed something about ourselves. So for example, have you lost weight? You look amazing. Or wow, you look so much better. What did you do? I can't believe how good you look right now. And these messages convey to us that, well, now that you have made this change, you are worthy, you are valuable. Even if this person may not have commented on your body before, and now that they are, they're kind of telling you, I did not like the way that you looked before, but now I do. You're almost, praised more, people like you more because you look a certain way. Now that I've talked a bit about the different messages that we can receive, I want to talk a bit more about why these messages are not good for us and tell you a little bit more about why people talk to us about our bodies, why people comment on them. So first of all, commenting on our bodies in this way makes us hyper aware of our bodies. It makes us think about things that we didn't think about before. For example, if someone were to comment on how big my feet looked, I might think, oh, is this something I need to be worried about? I didn't even think about the size of my feet before this conversation, but now I have this idea in my head that I need to be insecure about how big my feet are. And that can go for all different kinds of parts of our body and aspects of ourselves. But again, this hypercritical awareness of each part of our body not looking a certain way or looking, potentially not good enough or bad to whoever is sending us these messages. And being hypercritical of our bodies, is never good. Any kind of hyper overt thinking about anything is unhealthy. And so you think, well, why do people make these comments if they're not necessarily good for us? And, that is complicated. People make comments about bodies for all different kinds of reasons, especially people who are older than us. They themselves might have dealt with negative body image and maybe were bullied or received negative messages from other people, and they don't want you to get that message. So these could be messages coming from parents or people in your family, in their eyes, they're protecting you or having your best interests in mind. And, it's hard to combat with that. When someone, is wishing you the best, it can be hard to have a conversation telling them that what they're saying is making you feel worse and not, doing you any good, actually. Additionally, we are often sent several messages from social media, TV, advertising about how we should look because we only see one way to look oftentimes in these different settings. And so people carry this idea of like, well, we should look like this. And so they will make comments to other people because they think that it's okay to do that it's okay to say these messages to other people because they're not looking the way that they should look. Again, we know that those are opinions. That's not necessarily truth or fact. And I'm going to talk a bit more about bullying and media in the next video. But another important note is that, any kind of comments about our bodies, whether positive or negative, send us messages that our value and our worth is intertwined with how we look. And while sometimes that makes us feel good, And sometimes it really can be a pep in our step to get those kinds of comments about how we look. And sometimes they are okay, but when these are the only messages that we're being given, we, having our value tied to something like our bodies is problematic because our bodies change so often and so frequently. And in the next video, or in the next video after this little series, I'm going to talk about why bodies change and how, we maybe shouldn't get so attached to how they look in any moment because they can change at any time. And additionally, we also have all of these other values and characteristics about us that make us worthwhile, like our personalities, our hearts, and our souls that really make us who we are. And comments about those, will make us feel better long term because those are kinds of things that don't change as much. And so now I have another little activity just like the last video. So for this activity, you're going to write down 3 things that you like about your body or what your body does. So this could be about something you like about your body or something that you like that your body does for you. So I'm going to tell you mine. My first one is I like my forehead and I like my cheeks because they remind me of my family because we share these same physical traits. I like my freckles because I think they make me unique. And I also like that my legs allow me to get where I need to go and do the things I like to do, like walking in the park. And so now I would like you to write down these 3 things and why. Thank you for watching another video of Body Talk with Becca. I really hope you all take care of yourselves during these difficult times. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.